Daft Punk is a French electronic music duo consisting of musicians Guy-Manuel de Homem-Christo and Thomas Bangalter. Daft Punk reached significant popularity in the late 1990s house movement in France and met with continued success in the years following, combining elements of house with synthpop. The duo's songs are considered essential in the French house scene. The group was managed from 1996 to 2008 by Pedro Winter, the head of Ed Banger Records. Early in the group's career, the band members were influenced by groups including the Beach Boys and the Rolling Stones. Bangalter and de Homem-Christo were originally in a band called Darlin, which disbanded after a short period of time, leaving the two to experiment musically on their own. The duo became Daft Punk, releasing its critically acclaimed debut album Homework in 1997. The 2001 release of Discovery was even more successful, driven by the club's singles One More Time, Digital Love, and Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger. In March 2005, the duo released the album Human After All to mixed reviews. However, the singles Robot Rock and Technologic achieved success in the United Kingdom. Daft Punk toured throughout 2006 and 2007 and released the live album Alive 2007, which won a Grammy Award for Best Electronic Dance Album. The duo composed the score of the film Tron, Legacy and in 2010 released the soundtrack album of the film. In January 2013, Daft Punk left EMI Records for Sony Music Entertainment's subsidiary label Columbia, and released Random Access Memories in 2013 to critical acclaim. The lead single Get Lucky became an international success, peaking in the top 10 in 32 countries. Random Access Memories led to 5 Grammy wins in 2014 including Album of the Year, as well as Record of the Year for Get Lucky. The group is known for its emphasis on using visual and story components associated with their musical productions. Daft Punk is also known for its use of disguises while in public and/or performing. Specifically ornate helmets and gloves to assume robot personas in most of their public appearances since 2001. The duo rarely grants interviews or appears on television. History, 1987–1993, early years, Thomas Bangalter and Guy-Manuel de Homem-Christo met in 1987 while attending the Licour Copyright École, a secondary school in Paris. The two became good friends and later recorded demo tracks with others from the school. This eventually led to the formation of the guitar-based group called Darlin with Laurent Brankovitz in 1992. Bangalter and de Homem-Christo played bass and guitar, respectively, while Brankovitz performed on drums. The trio had branded themselves after the Beach Boys song of the same name, which they covered along with an original composition. Stralab released both tracks on a multi-artist Duophonic Records EP and invited the band to open for stage shows in the United Kingdom. Bangalter felt that the rock and roll thing we did was pretty average, I think. It was so brief, maybe 6 months, 4 songs and 2 gigs and that was it. A negative review in Melody Maker by Dave Jennings subsequently dubbed the music a daft punky thrash. Instead of dismissing the review, they found it amusing. As de Homem-Christo stated, "We struggled so long to find the name Darlin, and this happened so quickly." Darlin soon disbanded, leaving Brankovitz to pursue other efforts with Phoenix. Bangalter and de Homem-Christo formed Daft Punk and experimented with drum machines and synthesizers. 1993–1999, Homework. In 1993, Daft Punk attended a rave at Euro Disney, where they met Stuart McMillan of Slam, co-founder of the label Soma Quality Recordings. The demo tape given to McMillan at the rave formed the basis for Daft Punk's debut single, The New Wave, a limited release in 1994. The single also contained the final mix of The New Wave called Alive, which was to be featured on Daft Punk's first album. Daft Punk returned to the studio in May 1995 to record Da Funk. It became the duo's first commercially successful single the same year. After the success of Da Funk, Daft Punk looked to find a manager. The duo eventually settled on Pedro Winter, who regularly promoted it and other artists at his Hype nightclubs. The band signed with Virgin Records in September 1996 and made a deal through which the duo licensed its tracks to the major label through its production company, Daft Tracks. Bangalter spoke of the duo's decision to sign with Virgin, with regard to the artistic control and freedom. Bangalter stated, Daft Punk and Alive were later included on Daft Punk's 1997 debut album Homework. In February of that year, the UK dance magazine Music published a Daft Punk cover feature and described Homework as one of the most hyped debut albums in a long time. According to The Village Voice, the album revived house music and departed from the Eurodance formula. As noted by critic Alex Rayner, Homework brought together established club styles and the burgeoning eclecticism of big beat. The most successful single from Homework was Around the World, which is known for the repeating chant of the song's title. Daft Punk was also included on the Saint film soundtrack. Daft Punk produced a series of music videos for Homework directed by Spike Jonze, Michel Gondry, Roman Coppola and Seb Janiak. The collection of videos was released in 1999 and titled Daft: A Story About Dogs, Androids, Firemen and Tomatoes. 1999 2004, Discovery. By 1999, the duo was well into the recording sessions for its second album, which had begun a year earlier. The 2001 release of Discovery took on a slicker and distinctly synthpop-oriented style, initially stunning fans of Daft Punk's previous material and Homework. The group states that the album was conceived as an attempt to reconnect with a playful, open-minded attitude associated with the discovery phase of childhood. This accounts for the heavy use of themes and samples from the late 70s to early 80s era on the album. The album reached number 2 in the United Kingdom, and its single, One More Time, was a major club and mainstream hit that nearly topped the UK singles chart. The song is well known for being heavily auto-tuned and compressed. The song and album created a new generation of fans mainly familiar with the second Daft Punk release. The singles Digital Love and Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger were also very successful in the UK and on the United States dance chart. Digital Love was subsequently covered by the bands Codaline and Hello Goodbye. The song Face to Face hit number 1 on the USA Club Play charts despite a limited single release. A 45-minute excerpt from a Daft and Director performance recorded at Birmingham, UK in 1997 was also released in 2001, titled Alive 1997. The year 2003 saw the release of the feature-length animated film, Interstellar 5555, the 5 story of the 5 Egret 5 Tar 5 Istam. Daft Punk produced the film under the supervision of Leiji Matsumoto, who is their childhood hero. The album Daft Club was also released to promote the film. It features a collection of remixes previously made available through an online membership service of the same name. 2004 2008, Human After All. Starting on September 13 and ending on November 9, 2004, Daft Punk devoted 6 weeks to the creation of new material. The duo released the album Human After All in March 2005. Reviews were mixed, mostly citing its overly repetitive nature and seemingly rushed recording. The singles taken from this album were Robot Rock, Technologic, Human After All, and The Prime Time of Your Life. The earliest official statement from Daft Punk concerning the album was "We believe that Human After All speaks for itself." A Daft Punk anthology CD-DVD titled Musique Volume 1 1993 2005 was released on April 4, 2006. It contains new music videos for The Prime Time of Your Life and Robot Rock. Daft Punk also released a remix album of Human After All called Human After All, Remixes. A limited edition included 2 coverings of Daft Punk as robots. On May 21, 2006, Daft Punk premiered its first directed film, Daft Punk's Electroma, at the Cannes Film Festival Sidebar Directors Fortnight. A film does not include Daft Punk's own music, which is a first for the duo considering its previous DVD and film releases. Midnight screenings of the film were shown in Paris theaters starting from the end of March 2007. Initial public comments have since been positive. Daft Punk released its second live album titled Alive 2007 on November 19, 2007. It contains the duo's performance in Paris from its Alive 2007 tour. The live version of Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger from Alive 2007 was released as a single. Olivier Condry directed a music video for the single that features footage shot by 250 audience members at Daft Punk's Brooklyn appearance at Keyspan Park, Coney Island. 2008 Euro 2011, Tron Legacy. Following the Alive 2007 tour, the duo focused on other projects. A 2008 interview with Pedro Winter revealed that Daft Punk returned to its Paris studio to work on new material. Winter also stepped down from managing the duo to focus attention on his Ed Banger Records label and his work as Busy P. He stated in a later interview that Daft Punk is working with an unspecified management company in Los Angeles. The duo held its Daft Arts production office at the Jim Henson Studios complex in Hollywood. In 2008, Daft Punk placed 38th in a worldwide official poll of DJ Magazine after debuting at position 71 in the year before. On February 8, 2009, Daft Punk won Grammy Awards for Alive 2007 and its single Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger. Janet Jackson's song So Much Better from her 2008 album Discipline features a sample of Daft Punk's song Daffin Direct. Daft Punk provided 11 new mixes featuring its music for the video game DJ Hero. The duo also appears in the game as a pair of playable characters, along with a unique venue. The duo appears wearing its Discovery-era helmets and Human After All-era leather attire. Daft Punk's playable likenesses are absent from the sequel DJ Hero 2, which includes a remixed version of the song Human After All. At the 2009 San Diego Comic-Con, it was announced that the duo composed 24 tracks for the film Tron Legacy. Daft Punk's score was arranged and orchestrated by Joseph Trapanese. The band collaborated with him for 2 years on the score, from pre-production to completion. The score features an 85-piece orchestra, recorded at AIR Lyndhurst Studios in London. Joseph Kosinski, director of the film, referred to the score as being a mixture of orchestral and electronic elements. The members of Daft Punk also make a cameo appearance as disc jockey programs wearing their trademark robot masks within the film's virtual world. Tron Legacy co-star Olivia Wilde stated that the duo may be involved with future promotional events related to the film. A teaser trailer features Daft Punk and their track Derezed from Tron Legacy. The soundtrack album of the film was released on December 6, 2010. A deluxe 2-disc edition of the album was also released that includes a poster of the duo from the film. Additional bonus tracks are also available through various online vendors. An official music video for Derezed, with a running time of less than 2 minutes, also premiered on the MTV networks on the same day the album was released. The video, which features Olivia Wilde as Quora in specially shot footage, along with images of Daft Punk and Flynn's Arcade, was later made available for purchase from the iTunes Store and included in the DVD and Blu-ray releases of the film. Walt Disney Records released a remix album of the score titled Tron Legacy Reconfigured on April 5, 2011. In 2010 Daft Punk were admitted into the Ordre des Arts et des Lettres, an Order of Merit of France. Bangalter and Homem-Christo were individually awarded the rank of Chevalier. 2011 A Euro Present, Random Access Memories, Soma Records released a previously unpublished Daft Punk track called Drive that was made while the duo was still with Soma Records and recording Rollin' and Scratchin' and Daft Punk. The track was included in a 20th anniversary multi-artist compilation of the Soma label. In October 2011, Daft Punk placed 28th in a Top 100 DJs of 2011 list by DJ Magazine after appearing at position 44 in the year before. On January 19, 2012, Daft Punk ranked number 2 on Mixmag's Greatest Dance Acts of All Time, with The Prodigy at number 1 by just a few points. Daft Punk worked on their 4th studio album, Random Access Memories in collaboration with singer-songwriter Paul Williams and Chic frontman Nile Rodgers. In May 2012 it was also announced that Giorgio Moroder had collaborated with the duo, recording a monologue about his life in a vocal booth containing microphones ranging from 1960 to present day. Chili Gonzalez stated in an interview that he had performed material for the duo's project in a one-day session. "I played for hours and their unregistered trademark gonna grab what they grab and turn it into whatever." He also said that the album would be released next spring. 4Play member Nathan East later mentioned that he had contributed to the project. In October 2012, Daft Punk provided a 15-minute mix of songs by blues musician Junior Cambraw for Hedi Slimane's Yves Saint Laurent fashion show. The duo also placed 44th in DJ Magazine's annual Top 100 DJs list. In January 2013, Homem-Christo revealed that Daft Punk was in the process of signing with Sony Music Entertainment through the Columbia Records label, and that the album would have a spring release. A gradual promotional rollout was later launched featuring billboards and television spots, leading to the reveal of the album title and the release date of May 21, 2013. On April 3, the official Random Access Memories website launched The Collaborators, a series of 16mm documentary videos about the album. Later that month, a video preview for the song Get Lucky featuring Rodgers and Pharrell Williams was played at the 2013 Coachella Valley Music and Arts Festival. The radio edit of the song was released as a digital download single 1 week later on April 19, 2013. Get Lucky became Daft Punk's first UK #1 single on April 28, 2013, remaining at #1 for 4 weeks, and the Spotify music streaming website reported that the song is the most streamed new song in the service's history. At the 2013 MTV Video Music Awards, Daft Punk debuted a trailer for their single Lose Yourself to Dance, and presented the award for Best Female Video alongside Rodgers and Pharrell. For the 56th Annual Grammy Awards, Random Access Memories was awarded the Grammy for Best Dance Electronica Album, Album of the Year and Best Engineered Album, Non-Classical, while Get Lucky received the Grammy for Best Pop Duo Group Performance and the Record of the Year. Daft Punk also performed a medley at the ceremony with Rodgers, Pharrell, and Stevie Wonder of Get Lucky, Le Freak, Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger, Another Star, Lose Yourself to Dance, and Around the World. Pharrell later released his second studio album GIRL, in which Daft Punk performed additional vocals for the song Gust of Wind. On March 10, 2014, the Daft Punk song Computerized surfaced on the Internet. The song features Jay-Z and appears to contain elements of a Oe the son of Flynn from the Tron Legacy soundtrack. Influences: Bangalter and Homem-Christo have credited many sources that influenced their musical style. Years before producing electronic music as a duo, they shared tastes for Elton John, MC5, the Rolling Stones, the Beach Boys and the Stooges. Bangalter recalled that the records motivated him to learn English as a second language, since he wanted to understand the lyrics. The duo's mutual admiration for rock bands led to the founding of their own indie group called Darlin. Bangalter explained, "It was still maybe more a teenage thing at that time. It's like, everybody wants to be in a band." They also drew inspiration from the rock and acid house in the United Kingdom during the early 1990s. Homem-Christo referred to Screamadelica by Primal Scream as the record that put everything together in terms of genre. The liner notes of Homework pay tribute to a large number of musical artists and contain a quote from Brian Wilson. Bangalter stated, "In Brian Wilson's music you could really feel the beauty. It was very spiritual. Like Bob Marley too." When questioned on the success of Daft Punk's debut album and the rising popularity of their associated musical genre, Bangalter responded, "Before us you had Frankie Knuckles or Juan Atkins and so on. The least you can do is pay respect to those who are not known and who have influenced people." The Daft Punk track Teachers, from Homework, refers to several influences, such as Rome Anthony and Todd Edwards. Homem-Christo stated, "Their music had a big effect on us. The sound of their productions are the compression, the sound of the kick drum and Rome Anthony's voice, the emotion and soul is part of how we sound today." A 2011 Body Tonic podcast featured tracks from all of the artists named in Teachers, the Brian Wilson speech quoted in the liner notes of Homework, and a Kraftwerk-like 1983 track produced by Daniel Vanguard, father of Bangalter. Romanthony and Edwards later collaborated with Daft Punk on tracks for Discovery. For the album, Daft Punk focused on new styles of electronic music. A major inspiration was the Aphex Twin's single Window Liquor, which was neither a purely club track nor a very chilled-out, down-tempo relaxation track, according to Bangalter. The duo also utilized vintage equipment to recreate the sound of an artist from a previous era. As stated by Homem-Christo, on Digital Love you get this Supertramp vibe on the bridge, which was generated through an in-studio Wurlitzer piano. During a later interview, Homem-Christo clarified that we didn't make a list of artists we like and copy their songs. Daft Punk would collaborate with Edwards again on the song Fragments of Time, featured on the 2013 album Random Access Memories. During a 2009 interview, Bangalter named Andy Warhol as one of Daft Punk's early artistic influences. For the Tron Legacy soundtrack, the duo drew inspiration from Wendy Carlos, the composer of the original Tron film, as well as Max Steiner, Bernard Herrmann, John Carpenter, Vangelis, Philip Glass and Maurice Jarre. Daft Punk later sought a West Coast vibe during the production of Random Access Memories, referencing such bands as Fleetwood Mac, the Doobie Brothers and the Eagles. They also highlighted the influence of Jean-Michel Jarre in an interview following the album's release. Visual components and image. Daft Punk are noted for their use of visual components associated with their musical productions. The music videos for their singles from Homework featured distinctive characters and placed emphasis on storytelling instead of musical performance. The album Discovery subsequently became the soundtrack to Interstellar 5555. Their outward personas have also changed over time. In one of the duo's earliest magazine appearances, Homem-Christo stated in a Jockey Slut interview that, "We don't want to be photographed. We don't especially want to be in magazines. We have a responsibility." Although they allowed a camera crew to film them for a French television arts program at the time, Daft Punk did not wish to speak on screen, because it is dangerous. During their Homework years, the duo would usually wear masks to hide their appearance. When not wearing disguises, they occasionally preferred to be replaced by animation or have their faces digitally obscured for press kits. Few official photos of the duo's faces exist, including a blurry one found in the Homework liner notes. In their more visible Discovery years, they appeared wearing robotic headgear and metallic gloves for publicity photo shoots, interviews, live shows and music videos. The helmets were produced by Paul Hahn of Daft Arts and the French directors Alex and Martin, the duo who also designed them. With engineering by Tony Gardner and Alterian, Incorporated, they are capable of various LED effects. Wigs were originally attached to both helmets, but the duo removed them just before the outfits were publicly unveiled in 2001. Daft Punk introduced the costumes to many U.S. television viewers through an advertisement for a special presentation of their videos during Cartoon Network's Toonami block. Thomas Bangalter once stated, "We did not choose to become robots. There was an accident in our studio. We were working on our sampler, and at exactly 9:09 a.m. on September 9, 1999, it exploded. When we regained consciousness, we discovered that we had become robots." Daft Punk have said that they donned their robot masks to easily merge the characteristics of humans and machines. However, Bangalter later stated that the costumes were initially the result of shyness. But then it became exciting from the audience's point of view. It's the idea of being an average guy with some kind of superpower. When asked whether the duo expressed themselves differently within their robotic suits, Bangalter stated, "No, we don't need to. It's not about having inhibitions. It's more like an advanced version of glam, where it's definitely not you." With the release of Human After All, the musical duo's outfits became slightly less complicated by consisting of black leather jacket and pants and simplified versions of the Discovery headgear. The attire was designed by Hedi Slimane. Bangalter stated that, "We never like to do the same thing twice. It's more fun and entertaining for us to do something different, whether it's wearing masks or developing a persona that merges fiction and reality. We're happy to give back to the masses. According to Bangalter, the duo has a general rule about not appearing in videos. Although Daft Punk rarely grants interviews, Bangalter is cited as being the more talkative and opinionated one of the duo. With regard to fame and stardom, he said, in the same interview, he was also asked a question if stardom can be avoided. During the filming and promotion of Daft Punk's Electroma, the duo went to great lengths to avoid showing their faces. While on the set of the film, the duo chose to be interviewed with their backs turned. As reported on October 2006, the band went as far as to wear black cloth over their heads during a televised interview. During this interview they noted that the use of cloth bags in particular had been a spontaneous decision, reflecting their willingness to experiment with their perceived image in the media. It is believed that the mystery of their identity and the elaborate nature of their disguises have added to their popularity. The iconic status of the robotic costumes has been compared to the makeup of Kiss and the leather jacket worn by Iggy Pop. Bangalter has noted, "The mask gets very hot, but after wearing it as long as I am used to it." He later stated that the helmets in their current iteration are fitted with ventilators to prevent overheating. Live performances. In the mid to late 90s, Daft Punk performed live without costumes in many places including the United States. In 1996, the duo were featured at an even further event in Wisconsin, their first public performance in the U.S. In addition to live original performances, they performed a number of times in various clubs using vinyl records from their collection. They were known for incorporating various styles of music into their DJ sets at that time. In the fall of 1997 they did their DAF and Direct tour to promote Homework in several cities throughout the world. For this tour Daft Punk opted to utilize their home studio equipment for the live stage. As Bangalter stated, everything was synced up the drum machines, the bass lines. The sequencer was just sending out the tempos and controlling the beats and bars. On top of this structure we built all these layers of samples and various parts that we could bring in whenever we wanted to. May 25, 1997 saw them perform at the Tribal Gathering Festival at Luton Hoo, England, headlining with Orbital and Kraftwerk. Also of note is November 8 performance in Birmingham, UK, from which came the recording of Alive 1997. The Alive 2006/2007 tour began with a sole United States performance at the Coachella Festival in Indio, California in May 2006. Several festival appearances in Europe followed throughout the summer. 2 consecutive performances also took place at the Summer Sonic Festival in Japan, held in Osaka and Chiba City respectively. Daft Punk's final performance of the year occurred in the autumn, when they visited South America and played their second U.S. performance at the Bang Music Festival in Miami, Florida. In June 2007, the duo resumed touring, beginning with an appearance at the Rockness Music Festival in the United Kingdom. After further shows and festival performances in Europe, the act returned to North America for a full-fledged 8-day tour. This reached many markets for the first time on the trek and included a headline festival slot at Lollapalooza in Chicago. A second leg of shows in October followed, consisting of an appearance at the Goose Music Festival in Las Vegas, Nevada and 3 shows in Mexico. In December 2007, the duo returned to Japan to play a trio of dates. This was followed by a series of special shows in Australia, dubbed Never Ever Land. The dates featured regular tour stalwarts Sebastian and Kavinsky and were ultimately the fastest-selling Daft Punk-related events to date. The tour eventually culminated in Sydney at the Showground Main Arena. Daft Punk mixed and composed much of the music for the Louis Vuitton Spring-Summer 2008 Women's Wear Full Show on October 7, 2007. The duo later stated in an Emmy-sponsored live chat that there would be no tour performances for 2008, and that they would instead focus on new projects. Daft Punk made a surprise appearance at the 50th Grammy Awards on February 10, 2008. The duo appeared with Kanye West to perform a reworked version of Stronger on stage at the Staples Center in Los Angeles. For the appearance, Daft Punk utilized 4 Jazz Mutant Lima controllers. A press release specified that this was the first televised live performance by the duo in their career. Bangalter's wife Upurmil Lodi Bachchan also attended the event. In February 2009, a website stated that a hidden tour had been set for 2009. An event for February 13, 2009 in Shanghai, China was mentioned in the website. It was later revealed to be a hoax unaffiliated with Daft Punk and a scam to sell tickets for a non-existent event. Representatives of the band announced that Daft Punk had no tour plans for 2009, but stated that the duo was looking forward to performing in China during their next world tour in 2010 or 2011. The announcement also stated that all of Daft Punk's shows are and would be posted on their official MySpace page, and that the page can therefore be used to verify validity. In September 2010, the Daily Swarm reported that the duo would perform live sets in major cities to promote the film Tron: Legacy. Daft Punk made a surprise guest appearance during the encore of Phoenix's October 20, 2010 show at Madison Square Garden in New York City. He played a medley of Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger, and Around the World before the song segued into Phoenix's song 1901. The duo also included elements of their tracks Rock 'n' Roll, Human After All, as well as one of Bangalter's side projects, Together. Daft Punk performed at the 56th Grammy Awards ceremony on January 26, 2014. The duo's performance featured Stevie Wonder, Nile Rodgers, Pharrell Williams as well as Random Access Memories session musicians Nathan East, Omar Hakim, Paul Jackson, Jr. and Chris Courswell. The ensemble performed the Grammy-winning Get Lucky before moving into a medley consisting of Chic's Love Freak, and Stevie Wonder's Another Star as well as elements of Daft Punk's Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger, Lose Yourself to Dance, and Around the World. The stage backdrop used for the performance was designed by Daft Arts to resemble a recording studio, incorporating a functioning mixing console operated by Daft Punk. Appearances in media and tributes. Daft Punk's popularity has been partially attributed to their appearances in mainstream media. The duo appeared with Juliette Lewis in an advertisement for The Gap, featuring the single Digital Love, and were contractually obliged to appear only in Gap clothing. In the summer of 2001, Daft Punk appeared in an advertisement on Cartoon Network's Toonami timeslot, promoting the official Toonami website and the duo's animated music videos for their album Discovery. The music videos later appeared as scenes in the feature-length film Interstellar 5555, the Five Story of the Five Egret Five Tar Five Istam, in which Daft Punk make a cameo appearance as their robot alter egos. The duo later appeared in a television advertisement wearing their Discovery-era headgear to promote Sony Ericsson's Premium mobile phone. Their robotic costumes also make an appearance in the Masterclass section on Chilly Gonzalez's 2006 DVD release From Major to Minor. In 2010, Daft Punk appeared in Adidas advertisements promoting a Star Wars-themed clothing line. The duo has also been acknowledged in works by other artists. Losing My Edge, the first single by LCD Soundsystem, bragged about being the first to play Daft Punk to the rock kids. LCD Soundsystem also recorded the song Daft Punk Is Playing at My House, which reached number 29 in the UK and was nominated for the 2006 Grammy Award for Best Dance Recording. The Soulwax remix of the song also contains samples of many Daft Punk tracks as well as tracks by Thomas Bangalter. The song Number One Girl by the Dutch music project Lila mentions the names Thomas Bangalter and Guy-Manuel de Homem-Christo among other producers and artists. In the Flight of the Conchords episode Sally, a music video for the Flight of the Conchords song Robots is shot with homemade robot costumes fashioned by the band's manager, Murray G. Main comments, "It doesn't look like Daft Punk. We wanted ones like Daft Punk." A number of Daft Punk tracks have been sampled or covered by other artists. Technologic was sampled by Swizz Beatz for the Busta Rhymes song Touch It. In a later remix of Touch It, the line Touch It, Bring It, Pay It, Watch It, Turn It, Leave It, Start, Format It from Technologic was sung by R&B and rap artist Missy Elliott. Kanye West's 2007 song Stronger from the album Graduation features a vocal sample of Daft Punk's Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger. Daft Punk's robotic costumes make an appearance in the music video for Stronger. The track Daff and Direct from Daft Punk's album Homework was sampled for the Janet Jackson song So Much Better from her 2008 album Discipline. The track Aerodynamic was sampled for Wiley's 2008 single Summertime. Viridis Quo from the album Discovery was sampled for the Jasmine Sullivan song Dream Big from her 2008 album Fearless. DJs Mark Mistrio and Tar copyright O Moss released a cover version of One More Time featuring the vocals of Yardie Don. Daft Punk's Around the World was sampled for JoJo's 2009 song You Take Me. The song Cowboy George by The Fall contains a clip of Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger. Daft Punk has also produced music for other artists. They produced the Teriyaki Boys' debut single Heartbreaker on the album Beef or Chicken. The song contains a sample of Human After All. Daft Punk later produced NERD's song Hypnotize You. Daft Punk are featured on the cover of the December 2010 issue of British publication Dazed and Confused to promote the film Tron, Legacy, for which the duo composed the score. They also made a cameo appearance within the film as masked DJs at the End of Line nightclub. In 2011, Coca-Cola distributed limited edition bottles designed by Daft Punk, called Daft Coke. They were only sold in France. A newer version of these themed bottles now exist as collector's items, some parts of the bottles such as the cap and Coke logo being plated in gold. In a December 2012 episode of The Simpsons titled The Day the Earth Stood Cool, recurring character Disco Star wears an outfit which is very similar in design to Bangalter's. The online role-playing game World of Warcraft references the musicians with non-player characters Crystalgear and Tyvalix Bangalter, which wear distinctive diving suits and helmets based on the duo's signature appearance. Daft Punk, along with Courtney Love, were photographed for the music project of fashion house Yves Saint Laurent. The duo appear in their new sequined suits custom-made by Hedi Slimane, holding and playing their new instruments with bodies made of lucite. In 2013, Bandai Tamasha released a SHF action figure for Daft Punk coinciding with the release of Random Access Memories in Japan. Following a series of teaser trailers, Daft Punk made a rare public appearance at the 2013 Monaco Grand Prix in May on behalf of the Lotus F1 team, who supported the duo by racing in specially branded cars emblazoned with the band's logo. Daft Punk later made an appearance at the 2013 MTV Video Music Awards. Discography: Homework, Discovery, Human After All, Random Access Memories, Awards and Nominations. References: External links, Official website, Daft Punk on Top DJs, Daft Punk at the Internet Movie Database, Daft Punk discography at Discogs, Daft Punk discography at Music T, Daft Punk discography at Music Brains, Daft Punk at All Music, Daft Punk interview, France Inter, 201,313, Random Access Memories website.